Yesterday, delirium. The crazies, Ali, is that the front page of sports?
Well, it's just crazy.
Crazies.
Like crazy talk.
Okay, that's pretty good for me. Calm down.
Okay.
Heroic, meanwhile, of course, 4-2 down.
I'm glad you got heroic right.
They come from behind to win by 5 goals to 4.
5 years in Spain.
We welcome back Alex Kirkland with us, Robbo as well. Alex, what is the narrative around this? What was just an extraordinary game? Is it how the heck did we get into this situation in the first place? Or what brilliant character from Barcelona?
Yeah, it's a bit of both, isn't it? It's a game that had everything. It's a game that showed sort of the best of what we've seen from Barcelona this season and some of the worst as well. And what we've seen from them is they're a team who are capable of beating absolutely anybody. We've seen that against Real Madrid. We've seen it in the Champions League. Their record in Europe this season is really, really good, but also are capable of these just moments of madness and chaos and things going terribly wrong. And they did both of those things. Last night, of course, got the win in the end. A lot of the talk here in Spain was about Wojciech Szczesny and just catastrophic mistakes from him that put Barcelona in such a difficult position. Sort of redeemed himself, of course, later on in the game with one big save, in particular, 1 or 2 good moments, and Hansi Flick was trying to defend him after the game. So a lot of focus on him, but yeah, also about the character of this team. It's hard to, I'm not sure what lessons we can draw from this game, Dan, honestly, because it was such a bizarre set of circumstances and what happened and the way it happened. It's difficult to say what they can take from this, other than the fact that it's another great result that puts them in a really good position in the Champions League table, and let's see how far they can go in this competition.
I think what we'll take from it is we're going to be talking about Barca's high line all the way to the end of the season.
Right, yes.
Because it's not changing. And it is going to give teams chances.
How would you have gone with that high line, Ali? Even your lack of pace, you could have surely done something with it.
Eventually, I would have gotten there.
It'd have to go a bit higher.
Look, I think if you're Hansi Flick, of course, to the players in the locker room, you're hugging, you're cheering, yeah, right? And you're congratulating and you're admiring the fact that your team shows some character and some fight. You're proud of your group. But then once all of that kind of dies down and you start watching this game back, and on the flight back to Barcelona, you start analyzing your team, you go, man, we cannot win games consistently playing like that. But in order to address that, you also have to address, okay, what do we do with this high line? And it's something that he obviously has said, this is the way we're going to play. But it's gone to a point now to where it doesn't even have to be a good ball over the top. Just a simple ball, a switch of the point of attack, and now they're in trouble. They're struggling, they're scrambling. They have to be so perfect with it in order to be able to actually catch teams out or try to defend. But when they get past that high line, it's panicky defender. And in panicky defender, guess what happens? Mistakes from the goalkeeper in reading the play. Mistakes from defender that now they're freaking out as they're running back. It's like, oh my goodness, I cannot catch up quickly enough. And that's when you start making bad decisions. So the high line is not just about keeping people offside. It's also about the position in which you put your defenders once they have broken through that line, because everybody's panicking at that moment.
There is our beautiful table once again. Let's go from the table, shall we, to the odds to actually win the whole thing. Of course, at the start of the season, it was Manchester City and Real Madrid. Both of those have drifted, considering the form of both sides. It's Liverpool who are the favourites, along with Barcelona. Remember, of course, the buys will play into the way in which the bookies will write this up. Robbo, who's going to win it all?
I still think that Real Madrid might take some beating. You know, they haven't played particularly well this season. They might be coming into a bit of form. We saw the goals from Vinicius Jr. and Mbappe's playing better.
But they lose when they play against good sides, Robbo.
Yeah, but then I still think they'll, on the big days in the Champions League, they're going to do well, and I think they're going to go all the way. I just don't see them falling apart like they have against Barcelona on a couple of occasions. I still think they're going to go and do well, and they'll get to the final or semi-final at least.
Alex, of those Spanish teams, which one do you think has the potential to do the best?
I think Madrid, if they sort their defence out. In fact, Ancelotti said tonight, he said, look, there's no doubts about the attack. We know the quality we've got in attack. It's going to be about, our season's going to be determined by, can we get our defence together? They haven't got there yet. The team's been getting better slowly with some big results against. I'd still back Madrid. I'd still back Madrid over Barcelona. But I mean, and Atletico, yeah, they've got some weaknesses, but they're getting in the right direction. I think Madrid just ahead of Barca. But all three have got a chance.
You sticking with Inter?
I am. I just got a feeling this year that I think Inter are going to win Serie A.
Right.
I know it's a tight one at the moment. I know Napoli are up there. Napoli are leading at the moment. It's tight. They've got a game. I think they've got at least a game in hand. But they can do every side of the game, and they're solid. They're good going forward. They're solid in the middle of the park, and they can defend for their life when they need to. I mean, we used to talk about you don't want to play Atleti. I think it's you don't want to play Inter these days, because I think they're stronger. Now, Liverpool are the best team at the moment, and they're also defensively good. I mean, they've only given 2 goals up in this competition out of 7 games. But I've just got a feeling with this Inter side that they are the team none of the others want to play against, because they're difficult to play against and they've got a threat going forward. So I'm sticking with Inter.
Where are Bayern Munich in this conversation?
Outside of all the teams that we just mentioned. And yet, they're the one that have the most to gain, because the final is in Munich.
Oh, what a lovely...
Well, and that is part of the conversation. Is Bayern Munich they're going to play their way into that final, and the extra motivation what that would mean for the club, and the fact that they would have this opportunity to win Champions League at home. I just don't think that defensively they have enough. But it's hard to put Barcelona below Real Madrid in the expectations.
Well, look how it was when they played each other. Yeah.
When Real Madrid cannot defend against Barcelona. When Barcelona has scored 9 goals in 2 matches against Real Madrid. So when Alex says that Real Madrid has to improve defensively, it has to be a major improvement. And while they seem to have their attack figured out, that is almost at the expense of the defending. They have to get balance in this team, which still doesn't exist.